West HQ proudly brings you the story of Indigenous rugby player Mahalia Murphey, a story that began in Western Sydney.
My name is Mahalia Murphey. I'm 24 years old and I live in Sydney. I am one of the Rugby Sevens players for the Australian team and also work as an ambassador at Rugby Australia. I never really had passion for rugby. It kind of got involved with rugby through my sister. She started to play 15s with the Penrith team, and I was basically the water girl for the team, and there weren't enough numbers that had turned up for the game, so I jumped on the wing and had no idea how to play rugby, but all I knew was to catch a ball and run for the try line and score the try. And I guess from that moment it kind of changed. I was actually growing up doing athletics, so I was all focused on athletics, and Mum was a bit worried about me getting involved with rugby at the start because she was like, oh, I don't want her to break her leg, you know, she won't be able to run again. But I played that game, and ever since that game I kind of got to grow passion for the game. I think the highlight of my career is probably playing at Sydney Sevens last year. To have my family there was massive for me because I was representing my country, and my family don't really get to travel internationally with me to watch me play. So to play on home soil for my country in front of my family was a big honour for me, and I was very proud to do that. It kind of took a while for me to kind of get seen by the coaches, and I wasn't sure if that was because of the location, because they kind of have like more comps in the city, which is where most of their elite players are from. So I think there isn't that much opportunity out there for women, but I think it is growing. It's definitely growing. And as my other role in Rugby Australia, I am an ambassador, so I basically go out to different communities and share the word of rugby and try and encourage kids to get involved, or just to even encourage them to chase their dreams no matter what it is, whether it's rugby or athletics or dancing or acting. So being an Indigenous role model is important to me because I guess growing up through my experiences, I kind of faced a few issues, and I guess I try and encourage kids, obviously, from where I am today. It doesn't matter what race you are, and you know, people are going to face issues at the end of the day, but it's about the person itself, the individual, to actually, you know, create their own pathway to where they want to go and have that faith and hope in themselves and belief that they can get anywhere. So I try and educate kids on both Indigenous and non-Indigenous, as I said earlier. I try and encourage them to, you know, get out there and have a crack at anything they want, regardless of what it is, and take the opportunity with both hands. But with Indigenous, I think I kind of give them hope as well, because like they understand, you know, that an Indigenous woman has been successful, and it kind of gives them that belief as well in that aspect. So yeah, like there's been many, you know, successful Indigenous people, women and male as well. So in my role, I try and, you know, get involved with the Indigenous kids and, you know, give them that bit of hope and faith. I think growing up doing athletics was Kathy Freeman. Like her winning that gold medal with the 400 was something I always was inspired by. So I'd say Kathy Freeman. But once I kind of got involved with like the rugby league, I think Greg Inglis was my favourite because that was the position I played, and obviously him being Indigenous as well and Rabbitohs being my team. So it worked out fine. So Greg Inglis was kind of my other idol. So I grew up in Boonside, the western suburbs of Sydney, and still live there today. Yeah, so still in the west. I think my summer grounds would be Karilla Reserve. So that's where I started the little athletics when I was 14 years old, and that's where I had my first touch with the football playing league for the Doonside Brews. So Karilla Reserve would be like the main kind of park that I was involved with. People kind of like down-look on Western Sydney, but I'm proud to be from the Western Sydney, you know, western suburbs of Sydney. But I think that there is, in some people's eyes, you know, if they kind of do down-look on Sydney, but it's about them actually going to experience it themselves, that they find out that it's actually not as bad as it is, and that there is people that are successful and there is people that are, you know, struggling as well. But that happens, you know, in the southern as well, in the northern as well, and in the eastern as well. So, you know, for those people that, you know, don't really have much knowledge on the Western Sydney, I ask that they do go out there and they do get involved with the communities. If they think it's so bad, then go out and help. Because that's where I was born, that's where I was raised. I didn't have as much opportunity as I did, you know, when I moved into the city, but, you know, I kind of took every opportunity I did take, and that's just who I am. Like, that's where I'm from, and I'm proud to be from the western suburbs of Sydney. My advice to people starting out in the Western Sydney would be to take every opportunity with both hands and use it like it's their last, and have faith and hope and believe in themselves in whatever they choose to do.
Western Sydney has always had strength. Now it has a beating heart. West HQ. Discover our bold new chapter in the story of Western Sydney at westhq.com.au.